your thoughts on the Denny Hamlin drama, the restart zone at Richmond on Sunday night. We all understand it by now, but I want to hear your take. I've already given my take, but I want to hear yours.
So yeah, when you look at the rule's black and white. You're supposed to restart in the restart zone. So to me, you got to call it. You got to officiate it. I don't know that it can necessarily be a black and white rule. Like you can clearly see the guy go early, right? But then when you take a step back for a second and you look at all of the outside variables that are happening around Denny, and you look at Martin hanging back a little bit, and you look at the two and behind him, the 22 and the 5 that were hanging back a little bit. They're all trying to time that roll and time that momentum because they know the restart zone. They know where it is. So you're, as the leader, you're already kind of at a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
They did extend the restart zone a couple of years ago and make it bigger so you could go more within the zone. But those guys all still are trying to edge up and get that half a mile an hour advantage to just when Denny accelerates, they can accelerate and then they have the momentum, they have the run on them so they can put them in a bad spot getting into one. So Denny is very smart. He's very calculated. He understands a lot of things very well. And he's probably looking in his mirror or looking in his rear view screen and seeing this happening around him and seeing it develop. And so he wants to go early to put those guys back on their heels. And like, I believe that's what he did.
Yeah.
And there was a great explanation of it just yesterday. I think it was on, I don't know if it was on NASCAR social, if it was on Instagram or what, but it was Steve Letarte and the old Penske crew chief,
Todd Gordon.
They were going through it and they were going over it and they explained it that way. And so to me, I wholeheartedly agree with them. So if you're the leader and you're in that position, what are you supposed to do? Like if Denny just sits there and waits till the end of the restart zone, the more you wait in the restart zone, the more and more those guys know you're going to go, right? Because the flag man is going to throw the green flag by the time you get to the second line. So I don't know, like rules are rules. If I'm a rule guy and everybody wants to go by black and white, then you got to call it, you got to penalize the guy.
So that brings me to, I'm going to go somewhere that I probably shouldn't go, but you look at Carl Edwards, you look at Miami Homestead, where Joey's third on the restart, and it almost should be, in my opinion, as illegal to lay back because Joey Logano at Miami Homestead lays back, gets the run on Carl Edwards, gets to the inside, they wreck. Not long later, Carl says, "I'm out," for all the reasons that I've already did a show on. I thought about that because here's Joey laying back. Now, listen, I don't blame Joey. We're all going to, they're going to attack him. But I saw that. I agree with you. I mean, here we are now. Joey's laying back. He's going to get the run on him. And now we're going to wreck in turn one again. I think that's what Denny was defending against.
Exactly. 1,000%. That's exactly what was going on there. So, you're right that it was all defense, and like I said, as the leader, you have the advantage of being able to restart when you want to restart, but unfortunately it's in a zone. And so they know that you're going to go within that zone. And with these cars and everything all being so similar now, it's not like restart ratios. You can have any sort of advantage or anything. You're all with the same stuff. So, I feel like even though Martin hung back a little bit and Denny went early, Martin still hung on his door and was still right there and able to stay side by side with him getting off into turn one. So it even though Denny got a 2-foot better restart, Martin was still right there.
Yeah, I think I think the sport accidentally exposed a tough situation. If I'm in the driver's meeting, I'm going to say, guys, if I'm the leader at NASCAR and I'm looking at you guys at Martinsville next week, I'm going to say, listen, if you lay back, don't make us, because I think it's that creates the problem.